We're in. Team huddles complete. Chants in order. Strats devised. Swisher got dualies. And PaiN Gaming are on the attack, and they're going quick into long. No hesitation about this. They've already got long. Didn't even need to fight for it.
Interesting read from ATK. Stacked 4 players onto mid. 2 from Cat, 1 lower, and 1 outside of mid on CT side.
Ooh. This is, I mean, it's a full retake setup towards A, right? Obviously, the Cat presence is what they're going to hope to fight from. There is a P250. If you get that P250 into pit, I mean, that can work at range. Obviously, the Glock's not ideal for it, but they're not going to take any damage as they move on over towards the site. And Pikuzera indeed is going to hold towards long. So this is now a really good setup for PaiN. They'll keep the 4 players with Glocks fighting towards, and then just keep that insurance policy at long. And meanwhile, ATK, well, they need to get a move on. They do have a kit, but no smokes means they are going to be very exposed to whatever PaiN wants to do, and that's a really unfortunate flash. Caught the windowsill, blinded up themselves, slowed them down, and now all the kills are coming in a cacophony, and it's falling apart. It's only the long player remaining. MOTM a little bit too late into it, and while he will get one, that'll be all she wrote.
Yeah, just a picture-perfect take of long A there from PaiN on the pistol round. You need to buy the utility in pistol round just to show you why it's so important, because they had those 2 smokes coming through, perfectly thrown to block off long A, or block off the cross towards the A site, and then they have a flashbang thrown for Mistim, who was waiting there. I think it was Mistim or Fady, either way. Couldn't see anything on Cat, so they had a free plant.
Pistol prowess for PaiN is on point. And PKL gonna make a point for puncturing players. I'm out of peace. But ATK is also out of life, so hey, we're at the same boat. PaiN not gonna get upset in the second round this time. They're just gonna annihilate everybody, and now the guns come out for ATK.
Yeah, of all the pistol rounds, of course, just want to go back to that. That one was the most convincing for PaiN of the 3 that they won. Just in control from start to finish, and no problem on the anti-eco. But here come the A1Ss and A4s. And did Swisher switch to the A1S now? No, there's no way. I think he just dropped
Switches on the A1S game.
It would be so weird that he switches to the A1S after
he dropped
it gets
the A4
nerfed,
over
right?
to Mistim?
Maybe. I don't know.
How would that make
playing,
any sense?
Playing mind games with us.
Wait, hold on. Where's Mistim playing? It might actually make sense. He's the lone B anchor. It actually does make sense. You want more bullets, right? So if they're going to come on through, this actually does make sense. It's likely still Swisher, and they swapped it over.
I was convinced I saw Swisher's A4 on the previous one. He gets 1.
But there's the trade. Fady got a kill elsewhere. That's in towards the lower tunnels, but once again, there's going to be gap out towards long. They've only got 1 smoke for it this time. Unless one can be found from a comrade's corpse. They're going looking for it. But I don't think it's close at hand. So Nithon's going to drop that smoke, put a Molotov on the other side of it, try and make something happen here, but no. Fady isn't caught off by the molly at all. And he will drop. Bowden will be there for the cleanup. Nicely done for ATK. First gun round in the books.
Yeah, good hold there by ATK onto that A site, and Bowden in particular coming through with that 2K at the end, but Swisher opens it up with the A1S, and then, well, afterwards, PaiN just couldn't find the path to that A site through long, even though there were some nice frags that came through in the mix, but ATK activated a little earlier than they were in that previous map. Nithon misses a very makeable shot there towards the double doors at mid, and then he gets caught off pushing up by MOTM. Okay, good job on ATK's end not to over-aggress either. They throw a couple of nades in to lower a little too early, a moment later, and it could have been catastrophic for PaiN. I like the idea, but the timing just ever so slightly off.
It's interesting that they're taking all this aggression in towards Cat and mid with the bomb left so far back. Right? What are they going to do if they get it?
Yeah.
Because they are getting it. But somebody's got to go back for that bomb. Now they're doing it. Okay. Biggie Zera is like, yeah, you know, maybe we do need the C4 if we actually take out Cat successfully. Because if they get this kill on MOTM, they've got a site. They've got a bomb plant. All but guaranteed. So you better have the bomb if that's going to happen. Smoke thrown here for the angle out from long. Certainly they're not going to risk it with the bomb solo. Indeed, they will not. That is just a little bit of a beta-roo. Keep some focus out on long. So it is major pressure onto MOTM. Can he deliver? Bowden's starting to come over. Swisher can support. 23 seconds. No time to spare here for PaiN. They need to execute. They need to go now. And now he's got support. Now he's got the timing. They missed their window to have the light sight. Instead, they've got to go into the cam. But Nick is ready for the trials. For the gauntlet of players to deal with. The trades are good. That bomb is going to go down in the nick of time. But the players will not accompany it. No, PKL's got a gun. Oh, this has come down to the 2v2. Piguzera in the clutch. He just needs one more, and Mistim's blind. Mistim in the clutch has been so good for this team, but he won't deliver this time around.
Wow, round isolated there for ATK, and a great hit from PaiN to start with, coming from Cat. Those three players charging on forward, not able to be stopped. And afterwards, I thought MOTM was going to get a couple, but he only gets one, and I think it was Mistim afterwards, or Fady, who could not get a connection onto those two players when the opportunity presented itself, and that was really the difference maker, because they could have gotten the advantage there and then closed it out. But Big Ozera was too good in that 1v1. And now PaiN will go right back to the rifles. The op was picked up by Big U at the end of his clutch to drop towards Nithon. And now ATK just pistols. The only upgrade is in Swisher's hands, that CZ. And by the way, Mike, Swisher has actually switched to the A1S. I checked his inventory, and that was his A1S.
There we go.
I can't... Anyway, we'll talk about it more afterwards.
He's done it.
I can't believe he makes the change after the nerf. It's like he's trolling or something. But yeah.
Been the biggest A4 proponent for a long time. This time he's a CZ advocate. Gets a big kill, but PKL turns it back on its head. That was an exciting engagement out towards long, and we'll have to picture it in our imaginations for this one. It's all in the Mistim in a 1v4 with a USP and a Dream.
Yeah, pretty standard affair there for PaiN on the anti-eco. As ATK will set up the double ops. Fady is usually the one who's on that secondary op, sometimes Swisher. But let's see what Fady can do here. Paired up with Bowden. Timeout's going to be called here, maybe for ATK to talk things over and decide where they want to post up those ops. Wouldn't surprise me to see one definitely at A, and likely towards mid with the other one. But, you know, sometimes teams like to mix it up and just put that other op onto plat at the B site to watch the tons. Thing is, you can see through the doors now with that switch up that was made so very long ago. You brought it up in the pregame, Mike, or pre-map. But it does help on CT side to defend B.
Yep, certainly. Ooh, Nithon spots two. He's like, come on, send me a third. Give me a third. But they're trying to spam because they know he was here. Yes, it's online. I still don't know that I'd risk that jump. Bowden's risking a whole lot more. He's got aggressive into tunnels. This is so bold. And another shot comes through. Oh, man, oh, man. No killing blows. Nithon avoided. But golly, did they risk it quite a bit, all things considered. PaiN Gaming, once again, being given catwalk. A lot of space here as ATK have opted to focus on long instead. Big Ozera wanted to see how much he could get away with in towards mid. The answer was actually not a whole lot. Molotov down as well. Good flashbang. Brilliant peek here from Fady. There's the connection as well. That's a secondary op. So now PaiN knows there's a double op out, but PKL gonna make some noise on A. Look at this flank, though. Look at this push through. Swisher on the flank. He should have them all, but he's a little bit late to the party. He's still got one, but he's missed the bomb. And instead, it's going to be up to Bowden to try and deny this plant. And he's backed away. He's actually played this conservative. That means this bomb can go down here for PaiN. Hardzao has to do it, but now a 2v4 in the post is a little bit more viable. Let's see if Hardzao can make this big green gun shine a little bit more. Utility
Bit
over.
of a
boost up? A run boost? Oh, a cheeky boost.
nicely done.
And it's perfect. A team ace here for ATK.
Yeah, good job by ATK on that retake. The boost comes through. They find both frags, not much of a fuss. And, well, they're going to get that second round on the board for themselves. A little bit of a miscommunication there for PaiN because both players threw their utility. One a Molotov, one a smoke towards Cap, but the smoke nullified the Molotov. So either way, and then they had to, of course, close the gap towards Cap because the Molotov wasn't there to fend off a potential push. Still a good job by ATK in the round, and with it being a 4v2, it was definitely in their favor. And PaiN Gaming walked away with a bomb plant, which helps their economy into this round and ensures that 4 AKs and pretty much full utility will come through. Missed him. Oh, that's not where he wanted that Molotov to go. Meant to go into the tunnels. And instead, they're just going to get a nade thrown, and another Molotov is needing to be committed because of that flub. Fady, though, is going to get full blinded, and PaiN want to charge on in. This could be to their advantage, and it already is. PKL finds missed him.
Oh,
Fady
no.
misses the shot. That is catastrophic. He's going to go down. PKL with $1,200 stacked up from the MAC 10 frags, and they have to go for the save, Mike. What a take.
What a take indeed. The money's not built up enough to even think about risking this with 5 alive on the B site. That's a stellar round for PaiN. Puts them up onto 5, puts them right back in the driving seat of this half as well, and keeps ATK on the back foot. They're going to be on tenterhooks now. That is brutal for ATK, and it's exposed to weakness here as well, right? You had the 2 players in, but Fady and Mistem were both quieter when we were on Ancient. So, if PaiN have realized that might be a bit of an Achilles heel, I'd wager they're going to target it. The question is going to be, can Mistem and Fady find that clutch potential they had over on Ancient and a lockdown B?
Well, it would have been better if they hit the first Molotov, right, and then had another one to throw afterwards, which would have delayed the push from PaiN a little bit longer. Instead, they only had one, and then PaiN are able to push on forward without much of a fuss. So they get that 5th, isolate the round victory for ATK again, but ATK will be able to invest into this round at the very least because they had the save that came through for 3 players, so they're going to have an A1S, an AK, an AWP. I think that 2 A1Ss, an AK, and AWP, and a FAMAS. Boden's going to toss a smoke towards long A, and he spots the player but can't connect on the shot. That was Big Azera playing with fire, and he'll do it again, and he finds the headshot. Wow, even with the info that Boden had, I think it's just too fast.
The confidence, the flashbang, he's got another. Fady was on the reload. He wasn't actually blinded up, but he didn't have bullets in his gun. And now with the smoke in towards mid, they're so isolated. Then with the M goes down, and he does indeed. At this point, it's a 2v5, and these players are completely sectioned off from each other. Big Uzera controlling mid, so it's just going to try and fight through, but if he does, it's going to be brutal. It's all on a Mistem here. He needs to go huge, you know, he needs to go massive, and he's on fire in the way that you would rather not be. It's all over. PaiN Gaming sweep away every player in this round. Nothing saved through, and 6 rounds found for the attack.
They're just so good at resetting themselves after losing a round, aren't they? The same was the case yesterday against EG right here on Dust2. Even though when they lost one, they just came right on back and stormed forward. There's just no lack of confidence on their side. What, you took a round off us? Well, we're just going to get right in your faces with a quick push and take complete control of the bomb site. So, well played for PaiN. Timeout going to be called here. A lot of timeouts being used by ATK, understandably so, when these types of situations are occurring. But they want to try and find their way once more. And here they have enough money to go for a 4 should they want to, but it's likely just going to be a half buy. And yeah, Boden ends up getting the scout and everyone else onto the pistols here, Mike. Let's see what they can do with that. Scout's going to peek here towards mid. Doesn't get anything just yet. Nithon's boosted on the head. Ooh! And he does find Boden through the wall. It's not enough for a frag, but still Boden on life support.
This is a cheeky spot for Mistem. It is a bit of a one-and-doneer. You see teams get it done with the SMG. Trick here with the Deeg, if they move in with any numbers. Obviously, this is a very limited round for ATK. We're not expecting much. Early results, of course, have not been terribly promising. They're going to go for the push in towards long. Haitas actually holding for this. They got to be thinking, they're like, well, what? How did he know that? How does he know that? How does he predict that with the HE? Now he's just going to crush everybody one after another. They're all trying to get the scout, and Hards out does not want to let anybody have it. So a nice little 3K there to keep them off of the scoped gun. And with that, ATK should be just about cooked in this round. And indeed, it's looking like they are.
Yeah, PaiN continue to keep all 5 alive. They're building up the economy on the T side, which doesn't necessarily need it. But hey, it's always better to have more money. 7-2. In favor of PaiN, and we're going to see Hardzao again just dealing with what was thrown his way towards long. And yeah, great job by him. When he's been called upon, he has been fantastic. In particular, that 1v3 clutch going back to the pistol round on Ancient. But let's head into this one, round number 10. And ATK will have the rifles again. It's going to be an A4, 2 A1Ss, and the double op coming through. Let's see if it'll have more success this time. Missed him. Is already pushed up mid. This is a very risky position for him to hold for an extended period of time because he could get caught out. He has the support from Cat from 2 players, so perhaps that's why he's sticking around here. And MOTM's all the way pushed up. Great work from them, and he should fall back now. There's no reason to hold this for too long. Again, you can be exposed even with that man advantage.
This is a setup I've actually seen some CIS teams run. It's in particular, actually an international team in Budapest 5, I think, and One Win like to run it. It's an interesting one for sure. Haven't seen a lot of that in NA. So, I mean, obviously, you've got a bit of an international team here with ATK, with Bowden, 2 South Africans, and the 2 Americans. So, it is interesting to see some of the cross-pollination of ideas. Swisher going to pollinate their faces with lead.
Swisher's exposed.
But he's very exposed. He's got it with the USP. It's not quite enough. Still big damage on the Big Zero. Might set his teammates up for more. Missed him, wants to fight. He set himself up for it, peering over the smoke. They're just going to leave. They got 43 seconds, John. They can take their time. Not a lot of it, though. Just a bit of time. As a treat.
Yeah, I mean, they have a couple of options here, and time's going to be taken away. They could go towards, yeah.
25 seconds. Pressure on towards that op. Flashbang pushes him off the angle. And with missed him on Cat, he can't quite support immediately. He's going to be trying to come in on the flank, but Fady has to not die. Now he's peering back in, but they're looking for it. He's got the shot that drops the bomb. 14 seconds. It's exposed. Big Guzera caught between a rock and a hard place, and that's beautifully done from Fady.
Yeah, great shot. Catches off the player, trying to sneak his way into that B site. They almost both got through without Fady even spotting them, which would have been really bad. But with Fady hitting that shot bomb, gets dropped. Bigu has to double back, and he just cannot take care of business with the limited HP. So ATK find themselves another one. They need to string 2 together. And, well, given the economy for PaiN, it's going to have to be against another full-on rifle buy-up with full utility as well.
Yeah, it's basically, you're not really going to get the economy broken down for PaiN. By the time you break it down, the loss bonus will be built back up, and provided there's bomb plants coming in.
So good.
You're into the situation where you're just playing rifles for the rest of the South. Realistically. Economic damage is just too tough.
It's already tough enough to go against PaiN, but when you have to face off against the rifles, no choice for the remainder of the half. Oof.
Python's coming hunting. Oh, he's coiled. He's ready, but it's Bowden who strikes first. That's a huge kill to find. Python has been a lot quieter so far this game, and that's a critical piece to slowing PaiN down. It's been PKL, of all players, who stepped up instead massively. 14-4 for the in-game leader, for the veteran captain of the squad. And now, with Big Zero finding a kill in towards mid, well, this could be Desperation Station, because it means Mistum is incredibly isolated. I'm actually amazed they give up this mid presence. They had so much control. Instead, they're battling out on towards the site, and whoa, it's going to take a trade, but PKL's good for it. Still, though, they backed past the mid doors, and as a result now, MOTM's right back in before they even get this bomb down. Weird decision-making from PaiN, but this bomb will be planted. A second molly takes a weird bounce and air bursts instead, so MOTM can start to get into this retake if they want it. Time taking away, John. There is a kid.
Yeah. I think... Man, do you go for this Fury TK?
They're certainly doing so. One after another. It's an even trade. The op hits. That's what they need. And at this point, it's done. Bowden wants to get out of there. He wants to save his gun. He wants to stay alive. He's even trying to go for an exit, but he just doesn't have time. He'll find that kill, but it's all over. BQZera taking one last peek to make sure. It is going to be an 8th round on for PaiN.
I guess PaiN had a plan, right? You mentioned they weren't really committing towards that mid fight, which surprised me as well because of all the control they had. The smoke was even thrown for CT, so, I mean, you can at least send one player. You don't have to run it. You can just walk across, send it one into Cubby, or maybe go all the way down to Truck on the other side to try and catch an ATK member off guard coming from CT. So perhaps they made it a little harder for themselves, but at the end of the day, they still get the round victory and shut down the attempted retake from ATK. ATK saved the op into this round, which could be quite important, as they do have an A1S bought up around it. But PaiN have already taken this half, and Bigu's going to get another opener here onto Fady. Space gained again towards mid, and once more, Bigu doesn't want to take that space. He just wants to get the smoke thrown. and perhaps fade out a couple of players. There's OTM coming out, and he still gets the frag. Like, I mean,
Just reset, take
it's
the same
unorthodox,
fight.
but it's working.
Right? Just take the same old fight, and then they just get the trade on towards B, and they know they've got it. Oh, man, this is brutal. The setups are being abused at this point. That's going to be a 9th round guaranteed. It has to be a save for ATK. They can't even consider the possibility of challenging this one, John. I mean, this is, once again, looking like a PaiN masterclass, isn't it?
It is. It is. I love the way they're playing mid. It's so different, but it's just great work from Bigu. He continues to take that fight time and time again. It lets him watch from perhaps a safer angle, right? If players are going to cross over from CT, and ensure that the hit that's going towards the B site can focus entirely on B and not have to worry about anyone coming out from the doors. Bigu's going to catch off Swisher. That is really not good now, because ATK wanted that rifle to be carried over, and they know exactly where to look for Bowden because they've already been throughout the entire map. So Bowden could get dropped as well, and he absolutely will. That's going to mean no gun saved over, and they're thinking about the double op. No, I think Nathan just wanted another skin. He liked the one that he had on the ground. The one on the ground better, Mike.
It's this PaiN team, man. I mean, Nithon's even quiet at this point, right? He's 4-5. Nekiz is 4-5 as well. Their first matchup against Mythic, it was Nekiz who was nuts.
Yep.
The second matchup against CG, Nithon went Super Saiyan. Now, both those players are chilling. And they still got so much firepower. Big Uzera, 14-4. PKL, 16-5. It's ridiculous. I mean, which way do you turn? There are no weak links for this PaiN gaming squad.
Look, it's just, yeah, exactly as you said, no weak links for PaiN, and it's a testament to how talented they are individually, as we talked about earlier on, as we've been talking about throughout the entirety of the playoffs. And if you look at the BO3s against Vitality, it was Big Uzera popping off, 57 frags, Nekiz, as you mentioned, against Mythic, then Nithon against EG, and, well, the cycle has started over with Big U taking control of the top of the scoreboard here. So let's see what Fady can do here on this push from ATK. They've only got the pistols and the scout purchased up. It's a half buy. Pretty decent control of mid at the very least, right?
Yeah, he's pretty exposed. But it's the setup with Bowden, right? Bowden watching in towards tunnels.
Yeah.
Fady playing top mid. Problem is, as soon as one of them goes down, the other one is very vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
They're all coming his way.
Yeah,
oh, Fady. Fady. He's not going to get anything. Never mind. It's on to the scout now to try and find some damage. Well, Bowden will be looking for this fight, but he's still leading. A boost up resets his aim. And that's the big gun taken out of the round. Or rather, the biggest gun drawn. Still not that big a gun.
ATK, I mean, just pistols here. MOTM.
P253K?
Yeah.
P253K? P250 no K? Got a dink at least. Sometimes the P250 giveth, and sometimes she taketh away. Schmoke's going to be on here. We'll get the classic cross on towards A. Maybe Swisher can do something. It's going to be a tough fight.
Jump shots.
Oh. Oh. Gooply. Gonna go sell exotic cars. Oh, he's got it! Little jump scouting. But it just delays the inevitable. And the inevitable does come to pass. Looks cool, though.
Yeah. Nice shot. Look cool. Didn't get more. Only one frag for ATK.
That's one of those where you put it in the frag video, but you take the scoreboard and everything else in context out of it. Just play some dope music over that jump scout.
No UI, just the jump scout. I can't get the words out, but yeah. Okay, Fady gets tagged. That's something here. For PaiN Gaming once more. PK, catches off the shoulder almost. So that was a risky peek, but the utility gets thrown over.
Oh
PK
my goodness.
This is the repeak, and MOTM is going to get the opener here for ATK, something they haven't had very much of in this first half of action, but they will absolutely take it. The IGL for PaiN getting a little overzealous there.
A little bit, perhaps. Wanted his fight, wanted his peak. And they had so much money, he's like, let me just buy another op for this long fight. Didn't work out. Let's see if PaiN can recover. Oh, Baker wants to fight. Biggie wants to come through. Wants to pressure this AWP, and he's out of the smoke. Does Bowden realize that he's into the corner? Oh, this could be bad. He does. He does. He's wise to it. He's wise to it, but Bigu still gets the swing!
Gosh.
Bowden knew he was there, and Bigu just does not care. It's up cat they go. It's on to Swisher. Swisher was good in defense on Ancient. He needs to be good here. He needs to hold strong, and they've dropped in towards CT. Pressure coming from every angle. They've dealt with his long player, and he's next, and he knows it. Just like a horror movie where he knows the killer's coming for him, and that killer is named Big Guzera. 4th kill found. 1 more needed for the ace. And it's just missed him. The lone survivor here. His friends scattered to the wind and missed him. Well, he won't follow just yet. But Big Guzera will not be able to answer the call. It's missed him once again to pull a clutch from nowhere. PaiN gave him the fights and missed him delivered.
What? I don't even know how Mistim wins that one. I was writing him off completely, but yeah, PaiN just delivered the fights and 1v1s right into his hands.
Yep.
You don't have to let that happen. If you're going to peek, make sure you're going for a double peek from both angles, which they even had 3 angles they could have peeked from, and they decided not to. Let's just let Mistim get all the frags. Well, not just let him. Mistim did a great job of earning that, but PaiN had control. So perhaps the opening that ATK was looking for here as they get their 4th round on the board. Nithon, you're watching from dark, and he gets the opener on Bowden 5v4 just like that. And that is the risk of taking that mid fight. Oh, look at the presence though up towards top mid. I don't know if Nithon's aware of it. Could be a chance here for ATK to get back into the round, and well, he's already dead. Sorry. I just realized Heartshot took him down.
Yes, he is. Nithon coming hunting. Gets the tag. Not the kill. It goes the other way.
Oh,
but
TK?
PKL has now taken Neckies out of play. As well as missed him. Sacrifices must be made sometimes, John. Blood for the blood god. And that blood has swept the B side clean. A beautiful purge here. And cleansing fire outside the window will prevent Swisher from even setting foot near it. More utility, more smokes, more flashes to try and keep them off of even trying to retake this final round. They obviously have to go for it. There's nothing else to do. But it's a tough situation, a dire situation, a situation where you would save in any other context. Smoke in the tunnels is even missed, I believe. That's still open. And that's going to be bad. Hardzel finds the first Swisher, no health here. And what's he got? He's got nothing. 11-4 to send us to the break.
You love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
The night is long. The night is dark. That is, if you're a fan of ATK. If you're PaiN Gaming, you might be about to break out the celebration here, as they are just 5 little rounds away from securing their spot in the grand final of this season of ESL Challenger League. It's funny, John. Playoff success seems to have eluded them so far here in Challenger League, but now they look unstoppable.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, they've always had incredible regular season records. That's never been the problem. But once they got to the playoffs, they just could not find their rhythm, each time being shut down once by Extra Salt back in the day, then by Carpe Diem, and last season was the Game and Gladiators. So let's see if they can find their first berth, literally their first time in the grand finals in Challenger League, even though they've been so good, right?
Yeah, well, they couldn't deny the bomb plant, but the kills are coming in quick, and they're looking good, though. Oh, my goodness, they stack up the other way. Even numbers. Even numbers here. Nithon and Hearts out battling it, but look at the flank here from Mistim. He's got it, and it's just in the nick of time.
Boy.
Once again, Mistim is the sealer of the deal here for ATK.
It's unbelievable how many clutches he's had. I think that's his 4th one now.
That's their first pistol round.
And their first pistol round, yeah, right. But it just the 4th clutch coming through from Mistim. Unbelievable work from the IGL to keep his team alive, both on Ancient and now here on Dust2. That was looking like PaiN were going to take control of it, but finally it's ATK that are the ones that are fighting back on a pistol round to take it. PaiN, though, I mean, they're going to force up every single time on their CT side after losing pistol, and that's what they do here. Got a couple of scouts, 2 deagles, and the MP9. We saw yesterday when they did this, Nithon was just on lockdown towards Long A. He connected for tags on 4 of the 5 players and finished off one of them while the rest of his team dealt the rest of the damage. So maybe that'll happen again, and he is in the exact same position as he was yesterday.
You gotta fear it.
You do.
You gotta fear this scout. Does Flash catch him? Might just push him off the angle, but he's got the first tag.
That's
no
unreal.
smokes up. Oh, he's been dinked this time. Who's still gonna get a kill? Looking for more. He's got the connection as well. So much damage done. Finally, the Halo bullet takes him down, but he has softened up these targets. Swisher just doesn't care. Big Uzera, the next big hurdle to overcome. But Big Uzera has been lights out so far this map. This time, his lights are the ones that are out. That was a random shot. Hides out. She does find the kill. A 2v3. I mean, stranger things have happened for sure. And PKL goes to the SMG to try and make this one.
Thought he would go to the scout, keep on the scout and go to long, but all right.
Considering no armor as well. I mean, scout almost lends itself better. That's a great flashbang and a great couple of kills. ATK, avoid the upset. Keep it rolling here.
Started to look like a repeat of yesterday for a moment, right? Nithon just so good at dodging those bullets and getting those tags on forward, but this time around, the pistols didn't really connect for PaiN. I thought that Biggie was going to be able to get maybe 1 or even 2 because the lineup was there for him through that smoke, but just no shots went his way, and ATK finally get a few rounds in a row on their side, which is great news, and they're forcing PaiN onto the pistols. And PaiN's just going to charge up mid. Why not? No one's really watching it. They do have 1 player hanging back towards T side, or T spawn, excuse me, on the ATK side. And Bowden should be able to do some damage, maybe not all of it. There's 1 and only 1 Mac 10 upgrade available for PaiN Gaming, but with all the damage that was done on them and no armor, I don't really see a path back into this bomb site for them.
No, it's about maybe getting killed, maybe getting an exit. They'd love to get a rifle, of course, but it's even looking like a pretty slim possibility. Fettuccine, perhaps. You have a preferred pasta type here, John?
Oh, I mean, I love all types of pasta. I'm a pasta fiend, but I mean, when I was a kid, it was fettuccine alfredo, but I think I veered away a little bit from that. There's a nice salmon pasta that I like, you know.
I was literally just asking about like shapes of the actual noodles, but I'm down for recipes too.
Sorry.
I will always take recipe suggestions.
I guess I misunderstood, but yeah, no. Smoked salmon pasta is delicious.
Interesting.
If you haven't tried it.
Smoked
yeah.
salmon. I don't think I have.
It's a cream sauce with some smoked salmon.
See, being lactose intolerant, I usually veer away from the cream sauces.
Oh, yes,
but if they're
true.
particularly
Forgot about that,
good, it might be worth. Sometimes you just gotta risk it.
It's my favorite, so. It doesn't even have to be smoked
sometime.
salmon. It could just be regular salmon, you know, cooked up as well.
Definitely intrigued. Definitely intrigued. See what happens here. We'll see if Fady can make a little spaghetti out of his opponents. Okay, everyone's getting in on this one. Everyone's getting in on this one. The rare Python miss just leads to a cacophony of kills, and it's all falling apart here for PaiN. They got to withdraw. This gun round is a complete boss, a complete dud. PKL at least gets a parting shot. But now he's just trying to serpentine his way away from the spam.
Yeah.
And stay alive into the next.
Yeah, the save's already been called here. Hardzow's just tucking in near T-spawn, and PKL is likely going to head to the B site. They just want to keep these guns alive, but ATK have been explosive here towards long A. Second round in a row, they've taken it quite handily. This time up against the rifles on PaiN, and Python, you know, misses a shot. He hasn't had the hot hand as much here on Dust2, but still, it's quite an achievement for ATK to take him down so cleanly. And they're going to get an 8th here, and all of a sudden this scoreline looks a lot more palatable. As opposed to Ancient, where they were down 13-2 in the first half, and then PaiN made it to 14-3 at one point. Then they managed to come back, and it was 14-8, so it was looking closer. But here, this is very much in the realm of possibility now for ATK.
And I mean, we've talked about it as well, right? Dust2 is just such a streaky map. All it takes is someone getting the hot hand at the right moment. And this could be that moment. Python onto the scout in this one. There are limitations, but PaiN Gaming are mostly going to make it work. And of course, we know what Python can do, so it's not a huge issue. This looking like it could be just a fast play in towards B. Oh, they are set up for it. The timing on that flashbang could be huge. It's actually quite nice. They're out. They've already got a player through, but he's through to his death. MOTM trying to clear space. See if his teammates can fill it. They know PKL's in the corner now. The smoke isolates the fight, but PKL doesn't even need to see. He's dropped the bomb. He's getting more. And PKL shuts it all down. PaiN are on the board in half number 2.
The dynamic duo in this map is PKL and Big Uzera. Finally, they cracked the scoreboard, as you mentioned, Mike, into this second half, and in a very big way, completely shutting down ATK after ATK's dominance towards A. And you can understand, I mean, even though ATK came out with 2 really good executes towards long A, they didn't want to become one-dimensional and predictable, so they tried to go to B, but just a shutdown from the IGL, who's been on fire. Nekis is going to play from pit. Big, who gets a couple, though MOTM and Swisher go down. They don't get the long control they were hoping for. Do ATK, and both players on PaiN rebuff them completely. Even the smoke comes through now, and you saw a peek in a few shots, potentially one shot fired there by Bowden, but he does have to fall back, and PKL positioned perfectly towards mid. He's got the punish on Fady, Mike, and it's all PaiN for a second round in a row.
Flashbang, Molotov, position locked down. I mean, the money is stabilized at this point. This is where they become so very dangerous. It's all on a Bowden to even find a dent into this round. He will. A no-scope at that. So style points earned. A race on towards B. He's going to go for it. There's already a player in, of course. This flashbang, well, it may not net him too much. Trying to peer with the smoke, trying to get a creative angle on this. And he will find another frag. So he's at least making this a little costly. But it's just a little. Ops retrieved. Ops picked up. Surprised they don't even go towards the second there, to be quite frank. And PaiN Gaming are now just 3 measly rounds away from sealing the deal here.
Yeah, it feels like the streaky rounds are going back in the favor of PaiN. Oh boy, and that's problematic for ATK, as another timeout's going to be called here for them to talk things over, because their money is not great. The thing is, like, if there's ever a time for a force buy, I think now is it. You're down 13-8. You have a chance potentially of cracking the scoreboard again, getting a 9th. Doesn't necessarily have to be a force buy. Maybe just a half buy comes through, and you can get the Galil and in Fady's hands, and maybe as well in Swisher's. I don't know. It looks like they're just going to favor the pistols, though, Mike, and a bit of utility. Perhaps it will work out. But given that 14th of PaiN would really not be good for ATK. All right, here comes a quick push potentially towards the B side. They're just going to funnel in.
Oh, the massacre. Hardzow's got them in the bottleneck, and he's making a ship in the bottle out of their bones. It's all in one. It's MOTM, and the USB is not quite enough.
Whoa, what?
Okay, suddenly this one's become a meat grinder of a round. Expensive at the very least. That bomb is dropped, but MOTM, well, he's only got 8 points of health. But he's got a chance to make something weird happen, John.
Here's the thing, though, Mike. Nekis
Mhm.
throws that nade when he knew no one was there. Big U had visibility. It is strange. And now MOTM's managed to slip through mid. That nade's going to be... The reason I mentioned it is because 8 HP for MOTM could have been important. Doesn't matter anyway, as Nekis will find the frag onto him, and PaiN do indeed get the 14th. But at the very least, a costly round.
Yeah, they made it expensive. It does mean that they're going to force quite a substantial reinvestment here. If ATK could win this one, it still requires that they win this one. Maybe they can break down that CT economy a little bit quicker now. But they have to win this one. This is do or die. This is the last substantial investment. If they don't win here, it's just about all over. They're going to try for it. Presence in towards tunnels early on. That op duel doesn't turn up any damage on either side. There's util here, John, but it's not perfect, right? So whenever they do go for their execute on towards the site, you need to try and make something happen.
Python and Bowden really love taking that mid fight, don't they? They continue to peek back and forth, each one looking for the advantage, but it's just not going to happen. Biguzera also decided to fall off of Cat, and Bowden does get the opener here onto Nekis. There we go. That's going to help, but Nithon's waiting on the other side. They know he's here, so a flashbang will likely come out, and in the end, Nithon says, you know what? I do not like the way this one's shaping up. I'm going to back off and play more towards this A site.
And it might just be the right timing, too. Here's the spot. The rifle can find a kill eventually. But now Nithon's in a really tough spot, and he's dropped as well. PKL next to follow, and ATK have done it. They had to win this round. They had to crack this one on through, and that's exactly what they've accomplished. Hardzau's likely just going to try and save this, because, again, the money gets pretty weird for PaiN at this point. And ATK will at least find their 9th. If this M4 lives... there should be a buy in the next round here for PaiN. Yes,
absolutely. With Nithon on 4.3k and Nekis on 5.2, you have to imagine that even with the limited loss bonus that they will invest, because they'll be able to get 3 rifles, probably 4.
I just don't know what PKL will have.
Yeah.
If he dies...
Oh, Fady.
If he dies, it's a different question. Then maybe you just drop around SMGs, go for a half, go for something weird. Oh! And Hardzau, of course, goes for the fight. Might have just lived through that round. But now there's no rifle taken through. So you got 7k on Nekis. He drops a rifle right off the bat. A FAMAS, I believe. No. All right, they're making this work. Never mind. Apparently, they've got more creative accounting than I do. The util, not good. The kit's non-existent, but the op is up, and the PKL is down right off the rip. Bowden collects through the double doors, and they're already down a man. PaiN Gaming not starting this one on the right foot. A boost for the tunnel peak. Oh, the tunnel peak is coming, and Nithon falls off of it immediately. There's a boost on the other side. What is happening here?
And they're going back to it, yeah. They gotta get tag.
Oh, that was a tag. All right, that's a little bit of an odd exchange for sure. But now Nekis is gonna have that one going in his favor. Fady peeks and pulls out the nade.
He pulled a util. Yeah, I think it was a misclick.
That has to have been. That has to have been. Maybe he was just too quick on the smoke for the cross, but he certainly hadn't cleared his position. I like how Nekis knows that there were absolutely all the bullets in this gun since PKL got annihilated right off the rip. MOTM's so low, he can't trust himself to take that fight, right? He needs to wait for a distraction. And his teammates are going to have to challenge Nithon to get it. Nithon will preemptively set up an interesting smoke to play a bit of an awkward angle, a bit of a cheeky play. He's expecting a boost, perhaps. Big Cooper's alive, the spam catching him. And Nithon's not getting the peak that he's hoping for. There's the spot on the ramp player. And hops from elevator enough to delay the bomb plant just a touch. Oh, that shot set up, but it's not executed. There it is for Nithon. There's the connection he was hoping for. They still got this long control, though. Bowden is the insurance policy, and now that insurance policy needs to come true. A 1v3, they're gonna swing him, and it's Nithon to take him out of play. Map point found, series point found, upper bracket final point found for PaiN.
I mean, the round was on the tip of ATK's fingers. They knew where Nithon was. He missed 2 shots going from Gandalf, and then, you know, that third peak when he comes through and hits that really nice headshot, threading the needle. That's when things start to tilt in PaiN's favor. Then he gets another one on towards long A. Even when Nithon's having a bit of an off map, he's still always a threat. And PaiN one more round for their first berth in the grand finals of ECL ever.
That was a little bit of a standoff between the Oppers. Amazed they both walk away from this. Swisher's already out. He's trying to get the fight. Not for a flashbang there, but it is Swish to open things. A massive kill perhaps for PaiN, but it's this mid-fight that has eluded them. PKL has collected so many times. They can't let it happen again. A deep Molotov suggests maybe they're going for the aggression, and because there it is. We know how bold he can be, and he's going to do exactly that. The flashbang sets it up. He punishes the first. Doesn't expect Fady already in the angle, though. And so Fady is able to keep the advantage in control. PKL has other things in mind. This time he brings the mid-fight to them. Through the double doors he goes. And now Nithon has that comfort to know Cat is secured. And it's time to go hunting. The pit on deck, and Bowden was expecting it. Here we go, John. The game is afoot. The Molotov will slow it a bit, but not enough. It's too deep. And instead, the pressure is coming on through. PKL collected. This is all over. Hardzao is even going to risk it? In a 1v3 with money in the dumpster here for PaiN. Let's give a little bit of a poke in. There's a kit right in front of him. That can be retrieved. The nades are going to collect on Swisher. So that's one out of play. Hardzao will allow the possibility that he might. Now in a 1v2, this is more possible. He doesn't pick up the kit, though. Time is low. And they're not giving him the fight he craves. Bowden is posted up on the angle, and the op will take things home.
That's a great effort from Hardzao. And I mean, the reason he goes for that, I think, is because he sees the nade on the ground. He's like, well, I can just throw a couple of nades here. I'm almost guaranteed a kill. And that he was. The thing is, afterwards, like you were mentioning, ATK just didn't give him another fight. They held their ground as they should. And a 10th is on the board. As you mentioned as well, the economy is in the gutter for PaiN. They still decide, you know what? Let's force up. Why not? We got a 5-round buffer. So it's going to be 2 scouts, the Deagle, the CZ, and the A1S. And I mean, the confidence is still flowing for PaiN. They don't have much presence onto this A site, but Nithon's going to peek around, try and get those signature tags here with his scout. At the end of the day, he's going to need a boost onto that site, and he will get it. But with utility out here, it's a little risky because ATK's already pushed up to long corner.
Thank you, Zara, with a spam damage. Hardzao down elsewhere. He's just trying to kill. That can get him an upgrade, but the problem is, well, everybody actually on the site that matters.
Good boost.
He's getting annihilated. This could be cheap. Oh, but he has to hop to get the extra altitude, and in doing so, he's dropped. PKL can't even get the rifle, and at this point, the AK needs to be saved. So PKL backing off of it. God, he would like that A1S. He's looking at it. He's staring at it. But he knows if he goes out, he's a goner.
Yeah, that boost could have been much more threatening if they had tried to get the extra altitude just a moment earlier. Then they would have been in the clear. But by the time they try for the jump, it's a player waiting there on the other end for ATK. And ATK, again, has been very, very good on their long takes. That's been their bread and butter on their T side. And it will net them an 11th round here. PaiN's forced by not yielding the results they were hoping for. But at the very least, with this save, it'll make this next round a little more palatable for them. Mecha's just playing around with the pistols at the end of that round. But ATK trying to push it into overtime. 4 rounds in a row required to get there. And PaiN are going to be on pretty much a save here. As mentioned, though, they do have the 2 rifles to work with. Bowden's going to go for an early peek here on the top of the head of his teammate. And that's a really smart move, right? Because you lose that visibility from the wall there that was added towards mid. So you can't get this type of angle anymore without the boost coming through.
A little bit of a cheeky play, for sure. It's just Nithon currently on the other side, but no, PKL's gone into reserve, and PKL has been the nightmare here through the double doors. Oh, the USP's gonna be the distraction. The flashbang's good for it, but oh, the swing from MOTM, the transfer onto the head of PKL. How to do it, and he does indeed. Necky's this. He did take the Molotov, but did they hear? They don't appear to if he's on the flank. They hear the drop down though, yeah. And Bowden is ready to respond. Look, PaiN had to get weird with this one, but it did not work out.
Nah, didn't love the effort though, but too much noise made dropping down from Cat. It could have been interesting if he took a little bit longer, but if he does take longer, then he might not even get in on a flank at all. So it's the risk taken, and it doesn't yield the results. Thing is, PaiN, I was going to say maybe they'll go for a half buy here. No, they full send it again, even though it's going to be a little limited in terms of utility and also on the hardware because they have to settle for FAMAS here. But 2 A4s, 2 A1Ss, and the FAMAS to work with. But ATK now have that op back in their hands, in Bowden's hands, that is. And the 4 AKs
was this
smart as well. He's lining up the smoke, yeah.
He's got it careful. Just using the op to make absolutely sure he's got a pixel perfect. No miss smokes from Bowden Master. Ooh. It's interesting they've shifted this up, right? PKL and Bigu now playing together. PKL's had a lot of success on this tight angle, but Biguzera has the M4A4. And the shorter barrel actually works better for that fight. Doesn't reveal you as quickly if you're posted on the angle. It's the little details, folks. Sometimes make a very big difference. A little detail right now is that ATK are going cat. Could just be a big detail here in a moment. Nithon posted because they are coming in to support. A timely smoke will slow this down and allow Bigu to get in a better position to assist. It's all going to come down to this hit. 35 seconds. ATK committed into it. Swisher coming up late as well. He might be able to hold focus. He's actually never going to go long at all. Or if he does, it'll be wicked late. He's just trying to draw eyeballs off of Catwalk, and he's done his duty. And they found the pair that were on site. Nithon deleted damage onto Biguzera as well. This take is a success. At this point, ATK have all but secured round 13, and PaiN Gaming are pulling the ripcord. They're out of there.
They have to. I mean, look at their money. They want to be able to fight into this next round. So that means saving all 3 rifles they have left. That's why they were a little more passive on that A hold, so that if it does go awry, they're able to fall off of it. And the ATK are going to try and chase, as they should. They have the money. These frags are going to be so important for them. If they get it, it could even secure overtime to an extent. Swisher moving in. 3 players coming to that B site. They know where to look. This could be bad for PaiN. Swisher comes through and he catches off Hardzao. I think Hardzao's going to get to rights. He is not. He gets the headshot onto Swisher. The rest of his teammates are likely going to be facing off against ATK, but only 1 frag comes through. That's onto PKL, so at least a couple of rifles saved on 4, but that's all they're going to have to work with. They're not going to heavily invest into this round.
One would expect not, but it is PaiN. And you're correct. They actually aren't going to. A little D, a little smoke. Well, some here and there, but just the 2 rifles that they really have to worry about in this one.
Yeah, if it were 3 rifles, they would have done it, but
yeah,
not 2.
One would expect. PaiN Gaming playing for round 30. ATK, just 2 more. Don't hit the stumbling block now. They're taking long control. They got control of the dumpster. They're hoping for some sort of aggression to play into it. The rifle's ready, poised, trained on the angle. But now they'll group and move. Group and groove. Instead, PaiN Gaming are finding their aggression elsewhere, up in towards mid, hoping for a tunnel crunch here. And while they might find MOTM, it's a hit in towards A that they need to be worried about. That draws 1 rifle over. What does MOTM find? Nothing just yet. Lots of information for PaiN. Hardzao's coming to support. Both rifles are going to be here. This fight is going to be huge. They got Bowden up on the platform, watching and waiting.
Oh, man.
And here comes the hit. Moment of truth. PKL gets the first. That's MOTM drop. That'll be a rifle that gets brought in, but it'll be late. It'll be a long time before it can be brought to bear. Nekiz chimes in, but it missed him. Clears in towards Goose. It's Nekiz with the FAMAS, the last bastion here. He's dropped by Bowden. And now a chance for PKL. A 1v2.
I mean, you got to
no
say,
armor.
you know?
Does he? They've got money to buy into the next. He can try. It's a 1v2. It's a possibility. And Bowden has no idea where he's coming from. So that ult for now is trained out towards long. Here comes the check. Here comes the timing, but he's missed it on it. Could get past. PKL knew he was out towards car. Now he certainly knows. He's got the shot. He's got the spray, but he's not on. Revealed his position and missed him. Will take him out of it. One more round for ATK to take us for more. To take us to OT here, John.
Oh man, the hearts were pounding there for ATK. There's no question that engagement on the A site could have gone either way, and ATK close out control of it at the very right moment. And so PKL, once he gets back in there, he's the Lone Ranger. And the reason I said a save might not have been a bad idea is because that AK is so very powerful, right, on your CT side. And now you're going to have to go in without it, even though it is going to be still a full-on buy-up. That one-shot headshot potential, especially with how close some of these rounds have been. Timeout going to be called here, but ATK has really pulled this one back. 11-4, if you guys recall, at the half, and they have been phenomenal on their T side, matching PaiN in terms of their efforts on their T side. So PaiN has one more opportunity. They had 5. It's down to 1 to close out this map to get to the grand finals. Look, it has eluded them for so long. ATK is just not making this one easy, and a tag onto Hardzao.
Bowden has been a key piece of the second half, right? He's been a key piece of these fights, of making something happen here for them on the T side. They've already gained so much control out towards long. It wasn't contested, but look at Big Uzera. Oh, if he finds Bowden, that's the bomb.
No.
If he finds Bowden, that's the bomb, and they have no idea. A sitting duck and the player dropped. It doesn't matter what they find out towards long. The C4 is here, and now they have to deal with Big Uzera. He's got them in a choke point. He's wary of getting caught from tunnels, but with that kill, now he'll be comfortable, and now he can fully focus his efforts. He's still wary. He's still a little bit concerned, but with that flash in, now he knows. His teammates are on the way. They're coming for this fight, and he nearly gets caught off there on the angle. So they're regaining this bomb at the very least, but now they're in a very strange engagement. A fight back towards their own spawn, just to try and get out of this spot, just to try and get into the chance of taking a site.
Oh.
Big Uzera cleared out. That was the key piece. A fight down mid. Swisher hits it. Unreal with the AK right now. He's delivering, and Hardzao cannot connect with this AWP. He's got no health. The path towards A is open. PKL shuts it at the gate, but he can do no more. We're going the distance. We're going to overtime.
You love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
ATK have got the fight in them. They've got the dog to run it back after a brutal first half and make this an overtime game. PaiN Gaming couldn't close it out. They had the bomb, John. They had the bomb. They had the numbers advantage. They had full control back in towards T-spawn, and they couldn't close the round. And now ATK are barreling down on B. A crossfire set up here, but TKL is deleted, and Hardzal soon to follow. ATK strike first here in overtime, and I don't think they're going to let this one go.
No, no way. I mean, going back to regulation, I'm surprised that PaiN didn't have more presence towards the bomb. I thought they would just send everyone to watch it, but instead, it was mostly Big Uzera who didn't have the greatest of angles and didn't necessarily have the support from top mid. It was just a very strange hold, given the advantage that they had. So, anyway, ATK is going to take this one, and looks like PaiN Gaming want to pull the ripcord and save.
It is an interesting one, right? 12.5. You don't really need to save, but obviously a 3-man retake into a 5-man hold on the B site, it just doesn't really matter. You're not going to win that. It's a hopeless situation, so you might as well just keep whatever little economic edge you can have here. And we'll stack some kills. Round taken, Swisher dead, and that's a nice little couple of frags on the end there for Big Uzera. Maybe get the juices flowing a little bit, get the confidence back up. It has been a while, and in particular on this map, John, Nython and Nekiz have really gone missing.
Yeah, they have. But the thing is, I don't know if that really necessarily is a difference maker, because Big Uzera and PKL have been carrying the load, so they didn't necessarily need to do too much. The thing is, PaiN was making mistakes that didn't necessarily have to do with the duels. Anyway, PKL's going to get one in a second here towards long. What a flick to get missed him. Nython finds Swisher, and it's just it's so strange. PaiN can just pick themselves up and come out with a round like that after losing 6 in a row.
Kind of the nature of the long fight, though, sometimes, right?
Yeah.
It either really goes for you, really goes against you, or it's just complete and utter chaos. Just feels like it's sometimes how Dust2 plays. Obviously, with bomb control now, it doesn't really matter what's going to happen with this fight at Hardzal. It's all about the fight back towards long. They do have time to make something work, and well, Nython's isolated. Less so now that Nekiz comes floating on back. And, well, if the op connects, it's just not going to matter.
Yeah, it's done. Huh. PaiN settling things down. Bowden. Might want to save this.
It doesn't matter.
Actually,
missed him as 10k. Doesn't matter in the slightest. They can drop him an op. They're going to have
What am I saying? It just PaiN threw me off with the save in the previous round.
Right?
It doesn't really happen very often in OT, right?
No, you don't see it very often. But it's certainly not going to matter in this one. You just have to win one of the 3 rounds for economic concerns to not even slightly matter unless you want to buy 5 autos. It is Dust2 if you're going to do it. It's the map for it. The old 5-op graffiti that once graced this map. Looked like Bowden was reaching up for a high 5 there. Just one high 5 to take him through to the next life. A final round for this half of overtime. The match number is 19, folks. If you're not familiar with OT, they want 19 rounds before both teams get 18. First team to 19 takes the dub. Bowden, a flick down, but not a kill. Stay taut for the moment. Everybody living.
Yeah. Bowden backing off the long mid fight, excuse me, and he's going to go towards that long fight. MOTM gets the opener. That's pushing out to mid. Nython will go down, and PKL can't find the trade. He's going to throw a flashbang and then try to re-peek this one. It's not going to be easy. In the meantime, Nekiz has his hands full towards long. 3 players charging up, and he can't get a single one. I thought he had a lock on Swisher, but I guess that smoke was too much for him to deal with. And now a 2-man advantage for ATK, who have been excellent at taking long on their T side.
With all this control, with all this space, with all these numbers as well. This is a death grip on the round. PaiN Gaming trying to play the numbers in towards mid. They want to do this fight as a unit. Try and clear up some sort of an angle, but look at the way MOTM's holding this, right? He knows they've got time on their side. He knows they've got numbers on their side, so he can play it very conservatively. Oh, Fade's been spotted. That's going to activate MOTM. There's 1 kill. Hardzal now limping. They're going to bring Big U in to try and get this kill on MOTM top mid. Haven't been able to do it just yet, so they'll actually just circumvent him. Instead, it's the A-take on. And MOTM might be here for the backstab. Big Uzera, a big kill. MOTM needs to get activated because Big Uzera is dismantling his team right now, and everybody's dead. The flank doesn't work if everyone's gone. 19 seconds. Bigu could just avoid this. Smoke to give cover. Bigu just under the lip, and MOTM may not realize he's going around. He has no idea where Bigu is playing from, and now he's figured it out. Plant. The bait, he doesn't have time, and Big Uzera has the kill. PaiN Gaming 1 round in the lead out of that half, and now they head over to the T side. The half where they were absolutely lights out, John.
Yeah, that in that round, it's a little problematic because MOTM playing around mid, his teammates trust that no one's going to be on cap because of the fact that he's watching it, but he doesn't peek enough, and he doesn't realize that there are some players that manage to sneak past him, and that's why life gets so difficult for ATK, because it's a fight they weren't expecting to have. And great shots, of course, on the PaiN side. So they finally cracked the scoreboard after losing 6 in a row in regulation and looked more like themselves as they get to 17 and need 2 more rounds to secure this one. And like you mentioned, they were so very good on their T side.
I'm here for the ready up. Let's do it. I want more CS. I don't want to break now. I'm ready. My nerves are shot. I'd imagine theirs are as well. And here we go. Somewhat interesting spawns here for the CT side.
Look, I mean, suffice to say, Mike, regardless of the result, ATK have put out the best match against PaiN of all the teams that have faced off against them of late.
Yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt, the best single map so far in this playoffs to challenge the Brazilians. Bones going hunting in tunnels. He might find contact as well. He's there looking for it. Is he going to risk it? Is he going to risk the jump down? He is. He's past the crosshair, though. Does Bowden expect this? Oh, he's found it. The ops have both struck, and they both found kills as well. Bit of an awkward moment. But it works out beautifully. PKL not finding the second. So much damage done on MOTM. Last bullet couldn't connect. He's instead brings it back to a 2v3. And considering the health on MOTM, this is not beyond the pale. Missed him back of sight. He was bullied in regulation, but this time, now he's got the rifle. Now he's got the armor. Now he's at full health still. With a minute yet to go on the clock, and they're not going to focus in on him. The big point of emphasis for PaiN in regulation was taking mid and then pressuring in towards B, right? This time, though, they're making their way up catwalk, and this could be a bomb plant.
No one's here.
No one's here. MOTM, the closest player, and he's got the op as well. Switch it towards long. If they plant for cat, this may not be denied unless a jump shot gets hit. 25 seconds, plenty of time for this secret agent mission. And ATK haven't seen nothing for a while. They're not reacting. They're not responding. Here's the bomb going down. Now MOTM knows. But what can he do before his teammates get into the angles, before they get into the fight? A flashbang will set up Swisher on the swing. He's got to be careful about that fight. Ah, it's a tough one. And Neki is the insurance policy on catwalk. If no one's going to flank him, this op can be deadly. Time starting to become an issue here. ATK need to get activated. They have a smoke. They have a couple flashes. But they're not in great positions to use any of those things. Swisher would be the best able to do it, and he's out towards long. Time getting very short here. They need these kills. They've gotten a kiss. It's all on the hard south. He's found the first, but not the second. Is there enough time for the defuse? I think they've just got it, Sean, but it's going to come down to the wire, and indeed they do.
Wow, that was really cutting it close for ATK. They took their time deciding to go for that retake, and everything needed to go perfectly once they executed it, and luckily for them, it did. Good bomb plant there found, regardless, by PaiN Gaming to try and take that round in their favor, but it just was not enough, and ATK do manage to tie this one up once more. Nice little boost there coming through from ATK towards Cat. That's a really quick boost. It's a bit of a mini run boost, in fact. Swisher's going to spray through into that smoke and pit. And Nekiz, well, not too fussed. PaiN Gaming have taken long control. And ATK only have one player there, but look at that peek from Bowden. He just waltzes up mid and says, hello, PKL. I've got an off bullet. Has your name on it. Thank you very much.
fighting all the way amid. Confidence starting to flow here. Starting to get real spicy. Nython, though. Wants to be the tip of the spear here with an AWP of his own. Molotov's down. Big Uzera coming up on the lurk. Utility. Making life very difficult for PaiN, but with Big Uzera getting that kill, they're actually going to bail? Are they going to leave? Are they going to full rotate the bomb? They got a player up. Car. What is even happening here? ATK certainly don't know. And as a result, now Swisher gets traded. Well, they don't have smokes for another cross. There's a player up top mid. What? There's no one watching the cross anymore.
No way.
So they can just plant and Fades drop. This round is chaos incarnate. PaiN with the bomb down. Nython's not even watching long. They don't know where anyone is. Nobody knows where the engagement is. Where the fight lines are even drawn. There's a fight in towards mid, but what's even happening here? Hudzow's now burning. Does Bowden expect the player out towards ramp? He's ready for it, but his bell is rung. And now a 1v2 for MOTM with time expiring, and he is down for the count. PaiN Gaming have another match point off of one of the most insane Dust2 rounds I've seen in a hot minute.
Oh my goodness. Look, first off, it starts with Bowden just charging up mid and getting that op frag. But the thing is that engagement on long, once the bomb gets dropped, there must have been a miscommunication from ATK because there was no one behind to go and retrieve the bomb. So you have to be watching that cross and realizing it hasn't gotten over to the site yet. Instead, for whatever reason, the op starts charging up mid, and that's the round pretty much for ATK, even though it still got wild and crazy at the end because the players couldn't figure out where to watch. But yeah, either way, opening frag again goes to Bowden towards mid, but PKL is going to trade it back. Double op on PaiN.
Yeah, you can't run up mid twice here, Bowden. Someone's going to have figured it out in the meantime. And apparently that's the answer for PaiN, is just more ops. T side. Make it happen here as they look to close things out. I mean, obviously, there may be rifles down as well. You just got the money. So if you take this initial fight with the AWP, maybe go back, swap over for the actual site take. What are they going to do here? Mid, wide open. ATK playing with duos towards either site. And MOTM's got a lot of responsibility for both Cat and the mid cross. It's going to be a tough spot. Clearly, ATK expecting trouble towards B, but it's going to be MOTM will have his hands full.
Well, I mean, they should, because remember how often PaiN was taking control of
True.
mid with Bigu there and smoking CT and then going to B, but it hasn't been called yet.
Big old gap in the smoke. Doesn't allow them an easy fight onto MOTM's angle, though, but here comes the util. Swisher's on the flank. Is anyone watching this? These flanks were good last time. Can they deal with MOTM before Swisher activates? No. He's got one. He's got two. He's shutting this all down. Swisher might have just done enough. He dropped the bomb down into CT, and it's over. We're going for more. We're going for a second period of overtime.
Wow. Just Swisher with the hero play. Gets all the space up mid. Charges up Cat at the perfect moment, and the spray transfer is good. Oh, man.
Absolutely filthy there.
I mean,
it feels like ATK have just started playing with no fear, right? These Bowden plays up mid, Swisher pushing around long, getting into the flank. PaiN Gaming slowing down at the wrong moment here, John, and it costs them another chance to close out this game.
And again, I think their bread and butter on their T side in that first half was really when they took mid control and had Bigu just playing sentry, making sure no one could come from CT after they get the opening frag, but they're moving away from it and they continue to try and hit that A site. And it did work couple of times, but
I think one of the things is, obviously in overtime, you have all the nades, you have all the utility, you have all the weaponry. And at B site, it's a much tougher nut to crack when the Molotovs are there, when the smokes are there, when the AWP is there in the back of sight.
True, but
they're going to go back to it.
Try it.
They got the presence in tunnels now. But a smoke in is going to slow them down, at least in the initial take.
Surprised seeing Nython with the AWP in the upper tunnels instead of playing down mid.
He's expecting some aggression, it looks like. He's posted for it. Might come hunting now, try and create something. The mid-fight available to them.
Swisher's scaring me with this.
Playing a little fast and loose.
Yeah.
Get a little information there. Minute on the clock. PaiN don't have a ton to show for it. Mid presence, but otherwise it's really just the default. Oh, tick. No one close enough to hear that, but Fady now coming looking for this fight. Flashbang to force him off. Oh, he's dead. Bigu didn't even see him, was just playing the angle, and it worked out beautifully. Missed him. Has to withdraw. Can't drop here. He knows if he does, he puts Bowden in a really tough spot. As the cross smoke comes in, it looks like this is going to be back to that split on towards B. It was their bread and butter in regulation. It was so very successful. The difference is Bowden is in the back of the site. They hadn't done that.
They're faking A.
And now they know. Now they know. The fake towards A may hold those players in place, but now they need to get on towards the site, and that smoke is beautifully timed. PaiN doesn't know how to respond. 17 seconds.
Nope.
What are they doing? They have to go through. It has to happen. The smoke will fade. The alert smoke thrown. They've got to go now. 10 seconds. There is no time to spare. But Big Uzera needs no time. He's got it.
Do they have time to
get this bomb down? No. They lose the round. They've lost the round, John. They need the kill. ATK still win it despite getting swept off the site.
Man, look, imagine if PaiN had just decided to commit before doubling back for whatever reason with only 25 seconds left in the round. That could have been it. That was the few seconds they needed to get the plant. But instead, they stall out. They didn't know where to go after that initial hit didn't work because it was always working for them previously in regulation. And, well, that moment of hesitation is the difference maker. Bowden, oh my goodness. Like you said, no fear. He charges through lower into upper tunnels and finds the opener again for ATK. I think he has 3 or 4 in overtime.
What was that? Okay, so he tried to fake it with a Molotov, hoping that someone would chase, and he could no-scope them close up. Instead, Nekis just kills 2 in towards mid, and suddenly this is flipped on its head. Fady, meanwhile, has gone up mid, because apparently the rules of engagement have just been tossed out the window.
Forget it, yeah.
A fight with Swisher here. They need to clear this corner. And Hard Out does exactly that. Now look at A. There's no one even in this quadrant of the map, because the op is pushed up mid. ATK throwing the rules out the window, and as a result, this time, they are likely going to lose the round. It turns out the usual lines of engagement are there for, at times, a reason. You can only upset the apple cart too many times before you got no apples left.
Look, I still like the way ATK are playing. There's no fear at all. They've gone to a more puggy style here in overtime on their CT side, but I mean, it did net the result in the previous round where they got the 19th, so why not try for it again? And while this time it does get completely rebuffed, and Fady, the last one standing, just wants to keep the op here. Hoping to find some frags, and well, he will get one delivered to him. That's Nithon, but now they know where he is, so they're going to chase very, very aggressively.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter.
I mean,
but,
no, it doesn't.
Ooh, all right, and the op lives, so that's nice. I mean, I guess it would actually make the difference between the double op and the single. It actually does make a difference. They would not have been able to afford the double op if he died. So I take my words back. That mattered a lot. Great job, Fady.
There you go, Mike. You got the math going.
Mattered.
Yeah.
And you can see here, they drained the bank. Oh, Hard Zao, though, will take MOTM out of play. The only op that matters so far, the only double op that is on the PaiN side. See if ATK can course correct that. Both ops in towards mid right now. Which doesn't mean I missed him. Might be a little vulnerable here towards B. He's not got any support. They'll obviously be able to respond through the door to help him, but he's very forward, trying to play with a smoke instead. And well, is he just about to get a bell rung? Yes, he is! They're not giving up that angle, and Bigu goes for one more! This could be the round, the straw that makes the camel's back, and indeed, Big Uzera is ready to snap a few camel spines. It's 20 rounds on the board for PaiN. We'll hit the half switch. 22 is our magic number here, John.
Yes, look, Big Uzera has had so many 3Ks and 4Ks. He's been short of the ace, I think, 3 times so far in this map. Oh, but he's been a phenomenal. I think he hit 41 frags so far in this match, and he's keeping PaiN alive. There's no question. Perhaps more than that. They're 2 rounds away from securing this one. They've had so many opportunities to close this series out, but ATK just refuses to say die. And now they're going to come back with a double op immediately off the docket on their T side. Usually on CT side, but ATK has something in mind here. Looks like they're going to send MOTM for the quick peek. Flashbang is thrown, and actually that will give ATK a little bit of space to work with should they decide to push towards long, but they don't, and Hardzao doesn't care. He gets one towards B, and now he'll peek around again, perhaps for his second. Fady will likely escape now.
Molotov to even just set up Fady for this peek, but it's a weird one. He obviously can't go through his own molly there. So he kind of bottlenecks himself.
He just wanted to stay alive.
Well, he won in that fight, right? And maybe if Hardzao, if the molly spreads around the corner and Hardzao was tucked, then it forces him into the angle, and that could work. Oh, Fady coming to brushes with death one after another. Pressure's coming on towards A, but there are 3 players here ready to respond. That Molotov's good. A Molotov's so good, but they don't punish. There's the punish. Nithon striking. Big Uzera's still alive here. We know what a monster he can be. Nithon drop, though, removes his oversight, removes his cover, and now his teammates are all gone. One after another, Swisher finds the frags. He has just melted this defense away. Everyone was in position for PaiN, and it's just gone in an instant.
Swisher has taken the team and put them on his back in these situations where they're men down or even 2 men down, and just says, you know what, I'm just going to demolish anything I see without much opposition. And it shows, of course. He's at the top of the scoreboard with 33 frags. These are the types of performances that ATK have gotten from Swisher that have helped them catapult themselves to a much stronger position in most of their matches. So it's happening again. They tied up at 20. And we'll see, perhaps triple overtime is in the cards here. PKL is already pushed up towards mid. He's at Xbox, and he's waiting for anyone to decide to come out for ATK in the lower tunnels. Pretty good positioning here. But, of course, he's exposed at top mid.
PKL, he's got the first one. Looking for the second, but MOTM's there for the trade. It works out, though, for PaiN. Big Uzera with his 43rd kill of the game. A monstrous game coming through from Big U, and he's still looking to close this out. Set up another match point here for PaiN. But still anyone's opportunity. Netke's dropped. The trade is there. Still advantage for PaiN. But the bomb needs to make its way over towards the site. And right now, Bowden is burning.
What?
He burns alive. He didn't realize he was still in the Molotov. And he's burnt to a crisp. It's all on the Swisher now. Swisher, surrounded in the middle of a smoke, trying to wander on through. He's spotted, but not in time. He'll get the second as well. Somehow, some way, this almost works out. 35 seconds. He still needs to go into the open, though. And that's what Hardzao is counting on. He's counting on the punish now as Swisher tries to retrieve the bomb. Timing will be everything. And he's got the read. He's got the shot. And he's got round 21. Another match point for PaiN.
Oh, Swisher's so good right now. I can't believe he converts 2 off of that. The unfortunate thing is he doesn't know where to look for the last player and can't complete the clutch. But man, oh man, has he been good here on Dust2. PaiN, like you said, another chance to close out this series. But the way ATK is played, it's anything but a sure thing. Oh, smoking to be missed here by Bud, unless it was intentional to throw it in the door, but yeah.
That's a lot of utility thrown. I mean, we're getting to the point in the overtime where things start to get scrappy. Things start to get mad. The nerves start to get frayed. Smokes get missed. Nades get missed. And it all just becomes a little bit more wild. One more round for ATK. They've done this a few times now.
Yes.
Brought us to more overtime, and they're looking for a third period of it. Looking to recalibrate. And it seems like they're going to be looking in towards mid. But PKL finds the first kill. Fady, once again, gets checked outside of B tunnels. This fight towards mid could be huge. Big Uzera, does he have a flashbang to set this up? It's an engagement with the window peek. And Neck is going down elsewhere. Now that might activate Bigu, but no, he withdraws instead. Nithon realizes long is clear, but no one's in position for A. Bigu's in a tough spot. Nithon's out towards long. He needs some support, but Bigu may just be a one-man wrecking crew. Only for 1 kill. Nithon posted. Even numbers bomb. Headed towards a plant. Well, PKL's trying to deny this. There's only so much that he can hope to do. Oh, it's Nithon instead who's gone looking. That might open the door here. That might allow the op back through. He's even bringing in a reinforcement. Hardzao coming around towards long as well. Young's come further in towards the fight. He's not withdrawing as you might expect. Instead, he wants it all, and he's now been activated. The player's close up, and it's all going to be PKL. PaiN Gaming are moving into the grand final of this season of ESL Challenger League. They're looking for that spot in the